What's good, Lakers Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Lakers Corner, where we talk all things Lakers. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. If you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're a returner, it's good to see you, man. But we got to get into some of this Lakers talk, man. And I knew I had to bring a very esteemed guest on. I had to bring one of the homies, man. Somebody that I be talking to all the time on the side. I had to bring on my dog, Noah Talks Basketball, to get into this Lakers offseason content. My
What's
dog, how
good,
you
man?
doing?
What's good, bro? What's good? Enjoying the Chicago Heat.
Enjoying that Chicago Heat, man. How hot is it out there right now?
Man, it's like 90. It's hot. It usually don't get this hot out here. So
That's crazy. That's crazy. But at least we are going to be talking about a team in the sunny and nice weather California. We're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. In this video, we're going to get into all of Lakers offseason moves so far. And real quick, just to timestamp us, today is Saturday, June 29th. So we're going to be talking about all offseason moves up to this point. So if something happens after we record this video, don't hold us accountable to that. But my boy Noah, let's go ahead and jump straight into it, man. But before we get into the offseason moves and before I get your temperature on that, talk to me and let me ask you, how are you feeling about the way the season ended and just the way the season was in general?
I think that the way the season ended for the Lakers, it was like it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, they made the playoffs. Granted, they had to go back into the play-in tournament. They lost in the first round. I kind of expected that if they was gonna have to play Denver, that they might not get far, and that's exactly what happened. I think that in the end, I'm just glad Darvin Ham is gone, and it just shows that he wasn't the right coach for these last 2 years. I feel like the Lakers, they played a little bit better towards the end of the season, but it just wasn't enough, honestly. And the fact that they were at 7th seed again is honestly kind of funny. I feel like they haven't really succeeded for real since the 1920 season when they won the championship.
You wouldn't consider the 2020 championship a success?
No, I'm saying they haven't really succeeded since that championship.
Oh, since that championship. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. No, I 100% agree. And we can blame that to like Rob Pelinka. We can blame that to Genie and just the people who construct these rosters. And like that 2020 roster was it. Like we should have kept going with that type of roster. And they destroyed it. The next year they destroyed it. And they were like, let's go with this offensive-minded roster. And it didn't work at all. And ever since then, we've been trying to get back to a formula that
because the season after, that's when they brought in Schroeder, and then Schroeder leaves to come back 2 years later. Like, it's just goofy.
Yeah, it was goofy, man. But honestly, I like what you said. I think you said bittersweet, and I think that's a good way to describe it, because I mean there was positives and negatives, right? And it kind of the bitter part is the fact that we had a healthy Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis played the most games of his entire career. He played 76 games this season, like
more than he did in New Orleans.
More than he did in New Orleans, more than he did any time on the Lakers. Like this is the most he's ever did in his career, and like that right there, in my opinion, was the biggest question mark coming into the season. It was like, all right, how's Anthony Davis' health going to be? It wasn't a question. He ended up being healthy, but everything and everybody else let him down. Darvin Ham, terrible coach, never used him nor any other players in the right way. Role players like D'Lo, AR, Rui, Torian Prince, they all were inconsistent. Christie, they all were inconsistent all year long. LeBron James, even he's my guy, but he took off too many games that were winnable games, right? Like there were so many games where we lost by like 5 points, 6 points, 4 points, and LeBron decided not to play just because, he's taking some time off or load management or whatever, which I get it. He's old, but and then we end up losing those games, and now we finish as a 7th seed, have to go into the play-in, and then have to face a Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and it don't help when LeBron sitting out and they're not playing the proper players. Like there would be times, like at one point in the season, there were times where Austin Reeves was on the bench and they were starting Reddish over him, which is fucking retarded.
Crazy.
Max, like I said, I'm a big Max Christie guy, from the same state as me. But I feel like his perimeter defense could have definitely helped in the Nugget series. And I really believe that Ham.
Oh yeah,
like
Art Christie guy.
Ham really underused him. I also feel like Anthony Davis playing drop coverage every damn second it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're going up against the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, who can move anywhere on the court in any type of way and can score from any point. I can score from anywhere, bro. Like you can't stop him.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
best way
I
I
hear
can
you.
put it.
I hear you. No, for sure, man. Yeah, man. I think you know what I'm saying, to wrap it up in a nice bow, that season was just bittersweet, man. We had positives, but then I think we just had too many
It's pretty
negatives
much the same as last season.
outweighed it. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
You feel like, I mean, I felt like last season I was more happy with our success that we had last season. I'll be honest with you. I think like there was less like because of that turnaround that we had in the second half of the season, that was
Yeah.
beautiful. Like that was beautiful
But I
to
mean, yeah,
experience.
they got to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't feel like they were. I don't feel like the Lakers would beat the Mavs this year. I don't see
Oh
them
no,
being.
I don't know.
I don't see them being
I don't think so.
Dallas.
I don't think so. But all right, my boy. I mean, I think overall the Lakers just kind of let down this season. But what I want to get into is one of the first moves that we've seen in the offseason, once it was officially the offseason, about like I think like 2 or 3 days after the finals is over. Shams and Woj all announced that JJ Redick will be the new coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. So let me get your thoughts on that. Thoughts on JJ now being the Lakers' new head coach.
First off, JJ Redick was a great hire, bringing exactly what the Lakers need. Will develop the young players, and I also feel like JJ Redick has the enough knowledge, you know what I'm saying, to be a good coach. He can break down certain plays that he can break down. He can literally break down a play with a player that he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? He can bring in any player on his podcast, and they would instantly like vibe with him, get along with him. I also think the Mind You Game podcast was a great strategy of showing the Lakers that he has exactly what it takes, and he's already doing off-season plans. He's already wrote up after timeouts for Dalton Connects or Dalton Connect. I should say Connect 4. I can't get his name right.
Connect 4.
I can't get his name right. I think he'll definitely develop Rui more. He'll definitely develop Christie more. They'll definitely develop all the young guys. Now I do feel like that. I do feel like JJ Redick has the opportunity to be one of the best head coaches that we've seen in a long time, just off of all the experience he's had. You know what I'm saying? But he could be another Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying? He could be,
Yeah.
or he could be Steve Kerr.
Let's
So
see.
that's so we can never we just gotta wait to see. But when I saw the hire, I was like, he could either be another Steve Nash or Steve Kerr or Pat Riley, and I think those are great comparisons.
I think those are great comparisons. And look, I have a little spiel here on JJ Redick. So hear me out here, all right? I have a little spiel here for JJ. So I totally understand the concerns, right? There's a lot of people that are very concerned. I understand, like, you're talking about a first-time head coach with no coaching experience going on the Lakers, which is the most media scrutinized team with LeBron James on his last leg.
Want you to score 30 every night.
Exactly, right? So they're extremely scrutinized, but I still think we should give the man a chance, right? And here's why. Why. He knows his X's and O's very well. He knows basketball inside and out very well. I've been listening to JJ Redick, and not even just the Mind the Game podcast, but the old podcast that he had, the Old Man and the Three. Yeah. I've been listening to since 2018, and he has always talked about the game and broke down the game in the way that, like, people who don't even really know basketball can now understand basketball. So
I know you will watch the game. You will watch the game and be like, yeah, that's what JJ was talking about. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Right. And then he also has an obsessive ass personality, bro. I mean, everyone that talks about JJ Redick says this man has an obsessive personality. Nobody's going to outwork this guy. Once he gets locked into something, he's locked in. So that's a great attribute and characteristic to have as a coach. But also, one of the most important things is JJ Redick has an ability to connect with players. And I think that this is what modern day NBA is. Back in the day, coaching used to be like, oh, get on the line and run. And it used to be these old ass head coaches, and not to bring the race card, but it used to be these white head coaches. And like nowadays, I feel like it's more about, being able to just connect with your players, being able to, not only friendship and like vibe, but also have them respect you. And that's what JJ Redick brings. He played in the NBA for 15 years. He has the ability to get respect and command respect from his players because he played in the NBA and
I don't. Has he played in the finals? I think he has.
He did play in the finals. He did.
Yeah,
They
he was on that team with Dwight, right?
Yep. Yep. He
Yeah,
was
so
on the team with Dwight. So he has like the respect that other players have to give him, and he has the ability to connect with them. And then also, I think JJ Redick's going to be a great coach for Dalton Connect, man. I mean, JJ Redick literally made a career of what Dalton Connect is about to do for the Lakers, coming off drag screens, coming off pin downs, coming off just screens, or catching and shooting. Like, that's exactly what JJ Redick made his career off of, and that's what Dalton's going to bring.
He's perfect to come off the bench. He's perfect to come off the bench behind Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if JJ doesn't like utilize Dalton in the correct way, I still think you can just put Dalton Connect on the perimeter and have him be around LeBron. And LeBron's always thrived when he has shooters around him. So to add him just to this team,
now LeBron
I think
can shoot.
It's been great. Exactly, right. But I mean, the only downfall I will say to this is the fact that, like, man, I mean, we know it, bro. We know the Lakers. We know the Lakers are so scrutinized, like every single move that they make. So, like, I think that there will be a learning curve because I know JJ Redick, I think he'll be a good coach, but he's not God. So he'll have a learning curve. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's going to get scrutinized so much on that learning curve that I don't know, man. I think the pressure might get to him. Overall, I do think he will be a good coach, but I think there will be a very deep and steep learning curve for him.
Yeah, and I think this is the coach that the Lakers fans have wanted. You know, like I think that JJ, brings, like I said before, I feel like JJ just brings exactly what they need. And I feel like JJ is going to be the type of coach that's going to be able to buy into adjustments really quick, make great end game adjustments, won't let 12-0 runs, 15-0 runs happen like Darvin Ham would do. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like he'll play Anthony Davis at the 4 more like he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
So that's
and I mean, let's not forget, bro. We just had Darvin Ham. Like that, that is the lowest of lows. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny real quick. I'm just being
playing 5-guard lineups and
come on, bro.
3-guard lineups.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like, small ball was terrible.
I have been watching the Lakers like faithfully, like every single game since around like 2010, 2011, right? So I've seen a lot of coaches come through this Lakers organization. I can tell you,
I remember when they had Walton.
100%. I remember when they had Walton. But I can
Walton
tell you
100%.
He was a bad coach. I can tell you 100% that Darvin Ham was the worst coach I have ever seen on this Lakers team. So
worse than Byron Scott.
Worse than Byron Scott. You really can't get worse than Mike D'Antoni, bro. Like you really can't get worse than that. So hey, man, it's only going to be able to go up from here. And then biggest thing of all for JJ Redick is, a lot of people question him, a lot of people doubt him, but he has the biggest backing, bro. He has LeBron James backing him. That's the most important piece in this whole equation. So as long as LeBron James supports him, he's not going nowhere.
I feel like LeBron definitely helped him get that job.
Absolutely. Anything else to touch on with JJ, my boy, or what?
But when people say LeBron's the GM, I'm like, bro, he's not the GM, bro. Stop saying that, bro. He's not the GM.
He's not the look. Let me speak on this because he's not the GM, but he's the best player on the team, or he's a really important player on the team. So like his decision is gonna be influential, just like how Giannis's decision to bring his brother onto the team was influential. But Noah, let's talk about these draft picks, man. We just seen the NBA draft wrap up about 2 days ago.
The first time that they had a 2-day draft.
Exactly. First time I had a 2-day draft. So we just seen that wrap up. So let's get into both of our picks. We got Dalton Connect at the 17th pick, which we just talked about briefly, and Bronny James the 55th pick. I'm going to give you the choice. Who do you want to talk about first? Where do you want to get
Connect 4?
All right, let's talk about Connect 4.
I mean, granted, I feel like this draft class doesn't really have any stars, but at the same token, Dalton Connect, maybe he is a star, or a rising one. Had a 37-point game in college. Yeah. I forgot who it was. Can shoot for 3, has athleticism, and I feel like this is definitely the type of team that is good for him. I feel like he'll definitely fit in with all the Lakers players. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely see him coming off the bench, giving them 15, 20, 10. But I just, it's all about if he's used right.
Yeah. No, absolutely, but I do think he will be used right because we're bringing on, like I said, we're bringing on a coach who made a career off what Dalton Connect's about to bring to us. So
Now,
I think he's gonna be great for us. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
didn't really know like much about him, but once I watched his highlights, and he can take it to the rim too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like also I'm not the huge guy playing. I don't really like playing. I don't really like it when players play outside their main position. It just doesn't really work half of the time. But I feel like he could play the three. I kind of do.
Yeah.
But
All right,
I think,
Bronny though.
I think he'll be better off. I think he'll be great off the bench. But Bronny, he needs to go to the G League, or I don't think he deserves to just be thrown on the court just because he's LeBron's son. I mean, granted, he's not. I mean, I do think it's dope that he got drafted. And for people to say that, over people, you know, he's getting over people, that's not true at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he went number 55 overall. You feel me? So pretty much everyone else that goes after him is worse to him if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think he should go to the G League. I don't think he's really
Okay.
good.
Okay, and look, so a couple things on that. I think most 55 overall draft picks, like they should be in the G League. You know what I'm saying? Like most players that get selected that late in the draft, like they shouldn't even be in the NBA. But I want to real quick touch on this because I've seen a lot of people say a lot of things on this, and I got some things I gotta get off my chest here. I think first of all, it's so damn dope that we're seeing a father and a son play in the freaking NBA together. Like that is the dopest thing ever, bro. Like I was talking to my
I can't wait for
day.
2K, man. I'm gonna be having them on the court.
Exactly, right. So like I was talking to my homie the other day, and I was saying, like, bro, like, can you imagine you're playing at the highest possible level with your son? Like, that's the coolest thing ever, bro. So I want people to stop hating so much on LeBron, stop hating so much on Bronny, stop hating so much on the Lakers organization, and just admire the fact that this is history in the making right here.
I mean, your dads work with their sons all the time. You know, dads get their sons jobs all the time. I mean, regardless, it's just another way to hate on LeBron. Like the LeBron hate is honestly disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. And then what else I find funny is, people are like, oh, it's nepotism. It's nepotism. But people
I don't know what that means, gang.
Okay, I got you, gang. Nepotism is when you're favoriting somebody because they're your family member. You're favoring somebody because they're your friend. So like so when they're saying Bronny only got drafted because LeBron James is on the Lakers and, he's a really good player. So they're saying it's nepotism, right? So what I want to talk about is the fact that there's so much fucking nepotism all around the NBA and nobody says shit about it. Thanasis on the Bucks. He wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Giannis. Like I said earlier, when J.R. Smith brought his brother Chris Smith to the Knicks, that was nepotism. We can talk about the Atlanta Hawks president of basketball operations. He got fired. Travis Schlenk, he was the president of basketball operations for the Hawks for 2 years. He got fired, and then they brought in the owner's son who had 0 years of experience to be the basketball president of operations, and he still is to this day. So look at all this damn nepotism that goes on. And that's why he did, and nobody says shit about it.
And that's why he just sent away DJ Murray for a bag of chips.
For a bag of freaking chips. For a bag of chips, bro. And lastly, this is the last thing I'll say on Bronny. I get it. Bronny at 55 may not be a great pick, but Bronny at 55 is still a better pick than Jalen Hood-Schifino at 17 last year.
I mean, Hood-Schifino, he decent, but I mean, you can't really. I mean, I think he has a hard time like controlling the ball. He can't really shoot, and he's not really athletic. So, I don't really see him. I don't see him. I don't know if he's still even on the team at this point. I imagine he would be.
I know he's on the G League. He's on the South Bay team right now, but yeah, that's
they didn't even call him up for the playoffs. That's hilarious,
man. But all right, my boy, let's wrap up this show by talking about some of these opt-in and opt-outs so far as of today. Like I said, it is Saturday, June 29th. We have seen that Jackson Hayes has opted in, and then also D'Angelo Russell has opted in. So they're both returning to the Lakers. Do you have any thoughts on that, my boy? Or
I think Hayes. I mean, he's kind of trash, but I mean, he can still rebound. He can rebound at a high level, so he can get like 10, 11 rebounds. So that's pretty good. D'Lo, I mean, no one's gonna want him. I mean, also there's not a huge point guard market. I mean, we've seen D'Lo play at a high level, drop 44 points in the season. You know what I'm saying? And then go cold. It's all about consistency with him. So if he wants to win a championship, then by all means, he has to be dropping 20 plus 30 if he want to win the championship. You know, he could definitely be the third best player on a Lakers contending team. You know what I'm saying? But he just has to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not surprised he opted in. No one wants him.
All right. And then LeBron James, he decides to opt out and plans on making some room for other players at the minimum level exception. How do you feel about LeBron James opting out?
I mean, it's not surprising. Like we were just talking about the barbershop. It's just a new way to get a new contract. But LeBron has plenty of money, so if he does take a pay cut, I can believe it. I can. But we'll just have to wait and see.
He should take a pay cut. Like if he doesn't take a pay cut, and LeBron's my guy, but if he doesn't take a pay cut, he does not clearly want to win a championship. Because if you look at anything about how this past season went, you saw that you need to have a deep team. You need to have players who can contribute all throughout your team. You can't just have two really good players. And if he can take a pay cut and allow a lot of other players to come on, I think that makes a world of a difference.
I think now how the Vandal fucked up the Lakers too.
Yeah.
I mean, granted he doesn't score, but he brings a lot of defense.
A lot of defense for a team that lacks defense. So I absolutely agree. But all right, my boy. All right, my boy. I think this is, you know what I'm saying, a good place for us to go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to get, you know what I'm saying, a quick little episode out there where not only am I bringing on my boy Noah on the channel, but, you know, just talking about everything Lakers up to this point. For the family out there, if you guys want to stay up to date with everything that Noah's got going on, I will link everything in the description down below, and it'll be right there, right in his little square. I'll put his little TikTok and Instagram and everything right there. And for me, man, please, guys, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep joining the family. We constantly growing, and I'm ready to get into this Lakers offseason content. But Noah, you have any last things to say before we get out of here?
Man, we gotta wait to see what else they're gonna do. Something gonna happen.
Something gonna happen, man. So just stay tuned and know that the Lakers Corner will bring you the best Lakers coverage. But for now, we're out of here, y'all. Deuces.